Okay, today we're going to have a quick recap of the trending events back in Nigeria for the past 2 months, you might say, from the very dark man to the very popular man. Yes, and also looking at the Falaners and Bobrisky. So much news, so much activities, very interesting too. You just wait for it. We'll be back with the trending news and what might just happen after the aftermath of the trending news, you might call it. We'll be right back. What are we doing, Seth?
What are we doing, Seth?
Talking about the VDM guy, very dark man. I have to applaud him for the bravery that he has been able to bring together to himself as a personality, as a guy in the social media platform, using his platform to bring out some eels and feels, as you might call it, in what the trending things are in that country, especially to wanting to let people know what is really going on, and even having the bravery to even attack some institutions in the country. You don't get that a lot. VDM, popularly known as a very dark man, like I said, bravery. I actually like the way when he was arraigned to come and testify, as it were, to the decision makers, as he would call them, the National Assembly, right? To come and defend the video, the first video he brought out, and with the allegations, not him directly, he was just the messenger, right? And he was brave enough, and he said he didn't even care what will happen. After all, he's been in jail a couple of times. So what's the worst that can happen, right? I actually like the way, if you had seen the video, the way he walked into the National Assembly. He looked like Jesus going to meet decision makers, right? And he was all going in with all his regalia. And I kind of like the bravery he was putting on then. Like, he had a backup or something. So maybe it's God, right? But again, like even what went, when you go through the video of the activities that happened when he was in the National Assembly, he even threatened one of the senators, even you. If I say anything that will bring the truth out of yours, you threatened the...
If I see a secret about you, I will tell. Whenever you are saying you outside, beside me, I will tell. Especially you, I will tell.
He tells some people not say anything. Why would they? Yeah, talking about those that have a lot of skeletons in their cupboard, right? You have nothing to lose. So the way he walked in there like Jesus, as if he wanted to go and open everybody's yash, so to speak, But at this point, he was alleged to come and testify on the video of the allegations that Bobrisky said. And in fact, part of the controversy was what Bobrisky said in a private conversation, allegedly, that he had with somebody. Apparently, the person was also, recording the audio interview. So as it seems, and one of the things that Bobrisky said, he alleged that he wasn't actually in prison, but he was given an accommodation and around the area of where the prison is, and he paid as much as 10,000 thereabout to ensure that he was not staying in prison, but in a very comfortable apartment. That was part of the audio conversation, and he even mentioned the EFCC, and he also mentioned, guess what? The Falaners. Ooh. So many things happening there. So he mentioned a lot of names and even promised bringing out another video, which he has, of Bobrisky and all of that. So, whoa, brave guy. I need to give him kudos for coming out to say all that, to bring some proof and put some people in place, or make the power that be to shake a little bit. Brave of very dark man. I wish him the best as he goes on, because I know in the past, Nigeria, before talking about the past, Nigerians these days, they need heroes. They need heroes. A very dark man is trying to put himself in that category, but hey, so I hope these heroes don't turn to be b-holes, if you know what I mean. Because some of them in the past were supposedly heroes, a part of them are in the government. They were partially, should I say, fighting for the people at some point, But now they are in the government chopping the same money that we were fighting against. What are we doing, sir? But be as it may, I still give kudos to VDM, and I wish him the best. But hey, pick your battles. That's what I will advise him. Be smart. Pick your battles. Know when to talk. Know when to keep quiet. Lanjana Jungle. Okay. Now, apparently, that was what a close friend of his, or is he a close friend? At least they've known to be friends and all of that. Decided to, back out. I'm talking about Seun Kuti.
Yes, I don't hear. Now they ask me, have you heard about Very Dark Man? Now me first called this morning to give me the breakdown. He said, Baba, I see this thing. Make a talk. I say VDM talk.
Now, Seun Kuti, he's a guy that criticizes the power that is and fights his battles, so to speak. He picks his battles. And that was the advice he gave Very Dark Man. He said so much that he even said, you know what, Very Dark Man, at this point, you are on your own. Seun said, hey, I can't be influenced by anybody out there, wise young man. I can't be influenced by anybody out there to tell me what battles to fight. Okay, it is my decision to choose and pick the kind of battles I will go for or not to go for. That's the son of the legendary fella Nicola Koputi. So, a lot of wisdom, a lot of wise words coming out from Seun there, advising Very Dark Man as well. Hey, I don't hate you, but at this point, I'm not going to be part of your fight. I know the fight I will fight for. I know the fight I won't fight for. I know when to talk. I know when to keep quiet. And here, I'm also advising Very Dark Man. Hey, take it easy. Okay? But you're doing a good job. If you are brave enough to continue, I remember the one that Very Dark Man did prior to this one, when he talked about the pastor that was, selling anointed water? Miracle water for the church people. Can you imagine?
I go wrong.
So, Mr. Aku, so by Jeremiah Omoto, senior pastor, say another water again. Miracle from the pool of Bethesda water. You understand? So, Yakubu,
yes, sir.
Now you go first test time.
Okay.
Of the line. You go of Amma. You understand?
But kudos to Very Dark Man. So far, he's been trying to make bad good in his own little way. Bobrisky, another guy, girl, she, he, it, whatever. At this point, there's no good or bad or wrong or right answer. Bobrisky was caught in the controversy that actually made, headlines in the past 2 months concerning whether he was actually in prison or he was, according to his statement or conversation that he had with a friend, whether he was actually not in prison. He was actually serving his term, but in a comfortable place. All right? Do you know, talking about that, some people might think, oh, maybe Bobrisky was making it up. There's this guy, you will see the video, that talked about he actually committed an offense for him to be jailed and find out actually what it is and how it is, to see how and what the process it will take to actually be in prison. Listen to this.
Every investigation I've done, it's because ordinary people went through those systems and encountered problems, and they thought it had to be escalated. So I didn't just, someone went to prison and came out and said, oh, wow, that's a cesspool of corruption. You need to find a way to get in. The person went to prison in 2017. It took me 2 years to plan, and in 2019 I went in. Now, by the way, I spent 5 nights in the police cell. All they wanted to do was collect bribes to free me. Because I didn't pay bribes.
This is from your own personal experience?
From my personal, we got someone to arrange that. I bought a car, a vehicle, I paid, out of 2.8, I paid 500, and I didn't want to pay the rest.
Okay, that's the
claim that was taken to the police,
okay.
and then they picked me up. and changed the charge to stealing and hijacking of SUV. Person said I didn't complete payment and I didn't want to. So each day they were asking, oh, you don't have someone to come and settle your bill. They just wanted bribes. But I wanted to go to prison because police was not the target. So at the end, after Monday to Friday, they had to arraign me in court. First thing to note is that once the magistrate said remanded in prison custody, and the court closed, and they took me down to the holding cell, the first thing the prison warder did, there was a lady who was, working as my sister. They told me to go into their office in court, and they told her to peep into the holding cell. I had peeped myself, I saw, and they told her, is that the kind of place you want your brother to stay? Give us money and your brother will stay in our office. Because we needed to be there until evening when the prison boss would go around all the courts to convey inmates to prison. The prison warders approached me, I didn't approach them. And then, there was a negotiation, and then she settled for 5,000 naira.
5,000 naira?
Oh, yes. It's on tape. I want him to produce the videos the prison service seized from me in 2019. Because when you say some allegations are unsubstantiated, the ones that are substantiated, that were taped, that the prison service seized from me, produce them.
Wow.
Oh, yes. Not only that, then they came and then they said, oh, in prison, if you have money, you will never suffer. You serve the prison either with your body or with your money. I can tell you Bobrisky did not spend time in prison. Spent 3 weeks and they moved him out. There's no single Nigerian who has money and does not want to complete their time in prison that will do it. It's only if they want to. From there, they told me I could get a decent place to stay in prison for 50,000, for 100,000, for 150. He even said 1 million. This was in 2019.
1 million. So, how much are they supposed to be charging you per day for this supposed...
Different special rooms, depending on how much money you have. When the guy said 1 million, I said 1 million. He said yes. When Fayoshe was in Ikoyi prison, do you think he stayed in the general cell?
Wow.
That's right. So this thing that Bobrisky said is actually happening. It's been happening. It's just that it's not been exposed. Those people that are chopping small money here and there, Very Dark Man has exposed them now. Now, some of them are in big trouble. Maybe EFCC people too. What are we doing, Seth? Okay? But again, that is what has been trending, and it's pretty interesting that from a very dark man that has been making the rounds to a very popular artist, very popular man. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Yes, you should know. Worldwide award-winning musician, Burna Boy. Oh, yeah. Burna Boy, and I'm sure you guys must have heard the story about the allegations going out there, whether he had anything to do with P. Diddy. Yeah, okay, Diddy, right? Yeah, if he actually had something to do with him, he had to pay from his ass to win the Grammys. Allegations arrived, all allegations, like I said, we don't know how true it is. You know how social media is trying to make 1 + 1 2. But actually 1 + 1 is 2, right? But again, I'm sure you know what I'm saying, right? Okay, so in this case, Burna Boy, there's this guy called Speed Darlington that has been alleged to be kidnapped. Why? Because he went out there saying that he's sure that Burna Boy he was given a doggy style for Baba Didi.
Don't get offended. Now question I they ask. How many oil did you for your life before they give you that trophy? Bonus. How many oil did them rob for your nyash?
How true is that? it's actually in the internet. Now, Burna Boy had to pay the price for fame. Okay? And because of that, allegations are right out there that Burna Boy, due to his status, was able to capture this guy, or is it arrest or kidnap, whatever. You find out. That's just the allegations that we are hearing. And in the process, the guy, Darlington, I think he's a local artist or a rapper or Nigerian rapper or coming up artist, something like that. He has a lot of followers in his Instagram and all of that. Go check him out. And he was not seen for some time. The parents, especially the mother, was afraid, came out, begging for his son to be released. Eventually, the son was, released by people alleging that he's Burna Boy. And that's the allegation that he has something to do with P. Diddy. And you know Diddy, you know the probably the mogul, somebody I really respect a lot, is into now. But that's another story for another day. Right now it's about Burna Boy, you know, bending behind to get the doggy. and he got an award for it too. What are we doing, Seth? So much allegations, so much stories out there. You make your facts right. We are just trying to have fun here and compile all the events that has been going crazy and making the rounds in Nigeria and beyond. So I hope you enjoyed the videos. If you enjoy this, hey, please don't forget to subscribe, share this video. It's always good to share, and ensure that you give a thumbs up, likes, and please let me get your comments on this one. It's a very dark man. Is he really actually, is it worth it for him to, should I say, stake his life to try and, you know, bring out the ills and the feels of what the goings-on in Nigeria in terms of the corrupt activities of people? He's trying to play Jesus. Is it actually worth it in that country?
Bobrisky said something about a godfather. So it's obvious that there's a godfather somewhere that might maybe told him not to come, and nothing will happen because he has disrespected everybody here by not coming, and you are trying to force me to talk, and you are already throwing a little threat that you detain me. I'll stay in the cell. This is not my first time, it's not my second time. So I'll go and stay there until he's ready. But for now, I will not say anything. If I say anything, let me die.
Is it worth it to spare his life for? I'd like to hear in the comments. Bobrisky, has he done anything wrong? He was just talking to a friend, and the allegations were also there that the friend was actually taping it without Bobrisky knowing. Did he do anything wrong? Why wasn't Bobrisky also asked to come at the National Assembly to testify? After all, it was the one that talked about giving an EFCC bribe, and he was not actually in jail and all of that. Why? Why didn't he show up? Let me get your comments on that. Did he really pay the price for the award and all the fame he got? Because he had to bend down to get the doggy from Baba Didi. What do you think Shehu did? Do you think Shehu is a good friend for backing out from his friend now that he needs him? Or he was just being wise and, you know, picking his battles? Let me hear your take and get your take on this one. Drop comments. We'll follow up on the comments and make a conversation. What do you think about all of that? I appreciate your time, guys. Hey, always remember, do unto others what you want others to do unto you. Talk to you again soon, folks. Bye-bye.
What are we doing, Seth?